Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, I'm KingNido, and today we're coming in from Montenevera City, where it is the Silphs hosting the Lental Neos. And for the Silphs, they've dropped off since their start season dominance, having dropped all the way to 9th place, and they do not want to return to the form that they had last season, but they have never lost a game to the Lental Neos. But this multi-type side are currently sitting in 3rd place, the best we've ever seen them. So with all that said, let us know in the comments below who you think is going to win this matchup. Will it be the Ghost types? Will it be the Delta types? Let's go!
3, 2, 1, go!
And starting off this matchup, as always, it is Raichu, this time in its Cantonian form, as it starts out with that Sacred Sword, which is going to phase straight through Houndstone, who is alongside Trevenant. It is going to be Oricorio, though. With the Take Heart, it is going to boost those special stats, including that 98 base special attack. However, it is Houndstone responding for its side, with the Spore immediately putting Oricorio to sleep. This is going to leave Raichu to have to do the ghostly lifting by itself, as Trevenant follows it up with the Metal Claw, capitalizing on that sleeping Oricorio. However, Raichu is going to go for the Slash again, phasing straight through Houndstone. It is a form with Terrestrial Drafty, but it is a Ghost type right now, as it is Oricorio still snoozing away Houndstone, looking to capitalize, going with the Infestation, doing very minimal damage there to Oricorio, but it has been afflicted with this Infestation that will do that passive damage, as Trevenant follows it up with the Brick Break. They're trying to get the sleeping Pokemon off the field, even with that not very effective damage, but there it is, that chilling noise here in Montenevera City as that Infestation takes effect on to Oricorio, as the Smart Strike is not going to miss Trevenant here from Raichu, and that's what it needs to do to get some damage on the board for the Lental Neos, as Oricorio still snoozing away, allows for the Veno Shock from Houndstone, getting some chip damage onto Oricorio, but it's the burn up follow-up from Trevenant that is not going to work, because it is not a part Fire type, it's a part Grass type in fact, as that Infestation almost puts Oricorio into knockout range. Raichu is going to go for the Pluck, getting in some chip damage here onto Houndstone, but it also steals that Leopard Berry and proceeds to chow down right in front of it, letting the Silphs know that the Lental Neos are not afraid of no ghosts, as Oricorio still snoozing away. The Silphs can capitalize here as Houndstone with the Sleep Powder, but unfortunately it targets the already asleep Oricorio. Trevenant though trying to do its part, going with the Shell Sidearm, changing its focus there to Raichu, getting in some massive damage, as well as finally that Infestation is going to put Oricorio into knockout range. Raichu is going to go for the Milk Drink very intelligently. It is going to restore the health that it just lost from Trevenant, almost getting itself back to full strength, as Oricorio has finally awoken, and it is going to go for the Fury attack, so it phases straight through Houndstone. They need to stop going for these normal type moves, as Houndstone going with the Aqua Jet, getting in some good damage there onto Raichu, and Trevenant following it up here with the low sweep onto Oricorio, who hangs on from that not very effective move. It does cut into its speed though, and the Infestation is going to finish Oricorio off. That lowered speed doesn't matter because it's been eliminated from this match. Coming out for the Neos, it is going to be Slowking in that Galarian form, as Raichu with the Thunder Punch, not doing that much damage there to Houndstone, who does respond by going with the Baton Pass, feeling like it's taken enough damage already. It is going to go back to the bench, but it is still in this contest. Coming out in its place, it is going to be Spiritomb, as Trevenant going with the Wing Attack. This is going to be resisted by Raichu, but it still gets in some good damage, and that Static ability has been activated. This is going to slow down Trevenant. It may also make it unable to move, as the Water Spout from Slowking getting some great damage there onto Spiritomb, not very effective on Trevenant, as it is Raichu following up with the Sacred Fire. Now they're on the offensive. Spiritomb has been put into knockout range, but it is going to chow down on its Citrus Berry. It is going to offset some of the damage it just took from Raichu, as Slowking is going to go for the Present, but that Present is going to fall straight through Spiritomb, allowing it to respond by going with the Ceaseless Edge, taking Raichu out of this match, and the Silphs have already got 2 on the board. And in doing so as well, it has set up those spikes on the side of the Neos, those entry hazards that will do damage when a Pokemon enters the matchup. The Darkest Lariat, super effective there from Trevenant, putting Slowking already into knockout range, but it is going to chow down on its Lancebearer. It is getting pumped as the Neos do send out Sand Slash. It does land in those spikes, taking a little bit of damage, but it does have that speed control, and it goes with the Explosion. And the Silphs are not the ones who have to worry about that because they are immune, but Slowking has been eliminated by Sandslash, taking itself out, taking out Slowking. The Neos suddenly have 2 Pokemon left. The Crush Grip from Spiritomb is going to fail. The Silphs just need to not be reckless right now, as Trevenant is going to go for the Wild Bolt Storm, which is also going to fail. But the Silphs are still at a full strength lineup. All 6 Pokemon remaining. It is Slowbro from Kanto entering for the Neos. It is Persian from Alola landing in those spikes, as does Slowking. But the Neos need to bring this back. And I said Slowking, I meant Slowbro, as the Psyshock onto Trevenant here from Persian, getting some good damage here. And Slowbro is going to follow it up with the triple arrows, but again it phases straight through Spiritomb, allowing the Silphs to try and capitalize, as Spiritomb does go with the Play Rough, getting in some great super effective damage there onto Persian. But Persian is going to chow down on its berry. It does restore its health, as it was holding on to that citrus berry as well. However, Trevenant unable to move due to the paralysis. This could open the door for the Neos to try and capitalize, as Persian going with the Bitter Blade, and it takes Trevenant out of this matchup, and it's going to restore some of its own health in the process, taking the last of what Trevenant had remaining. The Neos finally get one on the board. They're definitely going to avoid the clean sweep, as the power split from Slowbro on to Spiritomb. They're sharing the power between the two instead of going for the easy elimination. Spiritomb is going to go for the Heart Swap though, focusing in on to Persian. That is going to switch the stat changes between the two, and we know Houndstone is the one returning to this matchup, but Persian still with speed control, going with a Smart Strike of its own, ensuring it will not miss that connection with Spiritomb. Houndstone responding with the Minimize though. It wants to avoid all damage, greatly boosting that evasive stat, as Spiritomb follows it up with the Electric Terrain. This Electric Current is going to run across the battlefield, and I'm not sure that part Water type Slowbro is going to enjoy having that around, as it is going to go for the Coil. Not that I'm sure it's actually aware of everything that's going on, as it does boost that physical attack and that's physical defense, as well as that accuracy here. And Persian following it up with the Bolt Strike, trying to capitalize on that terrain, but it is avoided by Houndstone, who does respond with the Burning Jealousy, taking it straight to both members of the Neos. Not very effective though onto Slowbro, as Spiritomb with the knockoff, getting in some chip damage with that not very effective move onto Persian, who doesn't have a berry anymore. The conversion here from Slowbro, it doesn't want to take any electric type damage, transforming itself into a normal type, also getting that ghost type immunity. The Icicle Crash onto Spiritomb from Persian, finally taking it out of this matchup, and the Neos have got 2 on the board, but Houndstone responding with the triple kick. It gets the first one onto Persian, it gets the second one with a critical play, putting it into knockout range, and the third one takes it out of this matchup, and suddenly Slowbro is all by itself. And this is not looking good for the Neos. As we said at the start of this matchup, they have never won a game against the Silphs. Slowbro is going to go for the Assurance though. Super effective here onto Houndstone, unable to avoid that move. It is going to be joined by Mimikyu entering this contest and immediately going with the U-turn. It's not going to be super effective on that normal type Slowbro. It does return to the bench, and out in its place it is going to be Miss Magius entering for the Silphs. Houndstone follows it up with the Feather Dance here onto Slowbro, lowering that physical attack a great deal, but Slowbro is going to go for the Light Screen. It is going to make itself stronger against special type moves. However, Miss Magius is going with the Fire Pledge. This will not be resisted by Slowbro. Houndstone going for the Shadow Punch, but it phases straight through Slowbro now. I'm sure that's going to confuse Houndstone, forgetting that it's a normal type. The Howl from Slowbro is going to boost its own physical attack after it was just lowered, and the electricity does disappear from the battlefield, as Miss Magius is now going to go for the triple arrows, and this will be super effective, putting Slowbro into knockout range, lowering its physical defense in the process. However, Slowbro is also going to chow down on that Staff Berry. It is going to boost that special defense, but it doesn't have much defense to work with at the moment, as it is the Grass Pledge from Houndstone, doing practically nothing here to Slowbro, but it's flinched. This allows Miss Magius to go for the Sandstorm, not going for the easy elimination. Instead, that Sandstorm is kicked up here in Montenevera, as Houndstone follows it up with the Flail to finally take Slowbro out of this matchup. And from the very start, the Silphs were in control, not giving the Lental Neos an inch, and they maintain their 3-0 record against the Delta type team, as this moves them all the way back up to 5th place, and next round they're going up against the Lumiose Yellows, whereas for the Neos, They remain in 3rd place, but next round they're going up against the Lava Rouge Flare. But until then, Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. And if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.